This is the Algerian Eye Stitch. I'm going to work it the way our little pages say, but we're going to come up on the outside edge in the middle between 2 points on a square. And we're going to go down in the center. And then we're just going to divide the square up into quarters, so if you want to go crosswise, whatever makes it easier for you. Coming up on the outside edge, down again in the same point in the center. So with the Algerian Eye Stitch, it's always up on the outside edge and down into the same point in the center. And once we have divided into quarters, now we're going to the point, again, always coming up on the outside edge, down in the center, again, outside point, down in the center. And I am making this really big for camera purposes. So the goal is always come down the same point in the center, and I don't know that I have made it since I'm sitting off center from this. Down in the center. And a lot of the sources I've looked at have stopped at this point with just 8 stitches in it. But our card has us dividing it up again. We're going to go in between each of the stitches we just made, always up on the outside edge, down in the same point in the center. And I did want to point out, it doesn't always have to be a square. You could actually just do a triangle like that, and it looks really cool. But let's keep going. A lot of the places that I was looking at these, they're worked on cross-stitch fabric, so then they would definitely be squares. And there it is, and I can just knot it off in the back. I know our page says that these look best on squares, but I looked up images online and I found lots of different shapes. Circles, I saw a lot. You couldn't do that if you were working it on cross-stitch fabric. But it's the same process. You're always coming up on the outside edge, going in on whatever point you choose as your center. I saw some rectangles done with this. I saw hearts. I saw some ovals. And your center doesn't have to be in the center. You could pick it to be off center, and that's kind of an interesting look too. However we do it, we're going to start by whatever shape you're doing, you're going to start by dividing it up. A really hard time seeing my center point. And you decide how many spokes, for lack of a better word, you want in your Algerian eye stitch. It's actually a variation on an eyelet. It's just not pulled quite as tight for the center, or there's no hole. So there's my 8, and I'm going to come around and just fill it in again with the 16. Well, that's a first on the camera, a slip knot. Or maybe not. So really my whole point with doing another shape is just to point out, just because the pattern page or the stitch page says it looks best as a square, don't let that stop you from trying it in other shapes. And there is an option on the stitch page where your last 8 stitches on the square don't come all the way out to the edge. They're shorter every other one. So don't be afraid to play. Now I don't remember whether I've already gone in here or not. I think the round ones would be really fun as flower centers. Anyway, there it is.